The concept of time plays a central role in Stoic philosophy, shaping how we perceive life, death, and our place in the universe. For the Stoics, time is not merely a succession of moments measured by clocks or calendars, it is an integral aspect of existence that demands reflection and careful consideration. Time, in the Stoic sense, allows us to frame our lives within the context of nature's broader cycles, helping us confront the realities of impermanence, change, and mortality. By appreciating the nature of time, the Stoics believed we could live more virtuous, meaningful, and fulfilled lives. Understanding time, in Stoic thought, encourages us to focus on the present moment, accept the inevitability of death, and live in harmony with the natural flow of events. One of the key tenets of Stoic philosophy is the importance of living in accordance with nature, and time is viewed as part of the natural order. The Stoics believe that everything in the universe, including time, operates according to a rational, cosmic order known as the logos. Time is seen as a continuous, unbroken flow that cannot be stopped, reversed, or altered. It moves forward relentlessly, and human beings must learn to navigate this flow by aligning themselves with it rather than resisting it. This acceptance of time's natural progression is central to Stoic thought, as it encourages us to relinquish control over things beyond our power and to focus instead on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and responses in the present. The Stoics placed a strong emphasis on the present moment, urging individuals to live fully in the here and now. According to Stoicism, the past is gone, and the future is uncertain, therefore, the only time we truly possess is the present. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, advised his students to make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. This teaching reflects the Stoic belief that we should not waste energy ruminating on the past or worrying about the future, as these are things we cannot change or control. Instead, we should focus on making the most of the present moment, using it as an opportunity to practice virtue, wisdom, and self-discipline. Living in the present, for the Stoics, also entails accepting the impermanence of all things. Time, as the Stoics understood it, is the force that brings change to the world. Everything in the universe, whether it be our possessions, our relationships, or our own lives, is subject to the passage of time and will eventually fade away. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often meditated on the transient nature of life, reminding himself that all things are ephemeral, both memory and the object of memory. This acknowledgement of impermanence is not meant to inspire despair, but rather to encourage a deeper appreciation of life and the present moment. Another important aspect of Stoic thought on time is the practice of memento mori, the contemplation of death. The Stoics believed that regularly reflecting on our mortality was essential for living a good life. This practice is not about dwelling on death in a morbid way, but about gaining perspective on the finite nature of our existence. By acknowledging that our time on earth is limited, we are prompted to live with greater intention and purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder of our mortality serves as a wake-up call to focus on what truly matters and to avoid getting caught up in trivial or meaningless pursuits. The Stoic understanding of time also emphasizes the idea that we should not waste the precious moments we are given. Time, once lost, can never be regained, and the Stoics urged individuals to be mindful of how they spend it. Seneca, in his essay on the shortness of life, famously wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He criticized those who squander their time in idle pursuits, distractions, or the pursuit of wealth and status, arguing that life is long enough if we make good use of it. For Seneca, the key to living a fulfilling life is not the quantity of time we have, but the quality of how we spend it. By focusing on meaningful activities, such as self-improvement, cultivating virtue, and contributing to the well-being of others, we can ensure that our time is well spent, regardless of how long or short our lives may be. The Stoics also believed that time should be viewed from a cosmic perspective, which helps us understand our place in the grand scheme of things. From this viewpoint, individual human lives are but fleeting moments in the vast expanse of eternity. The Stoics frequently meditated on the idea that everything we experience is part of a much larger, universal process that has been unfolding long before we existed and will continue long after we are gone. This perspective encourages humility and detachment from our personal concerns, as it reminds us that our individual worries and desires are insignificant in the larger context of the universe. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the insignificance of human life in the face of eternity, writing, "Consider how brief and insignificant is all human life, for yesterday a drop of semen, tomorrow a handful of ashes." This cosmic view of time also fosters a sense of acceptance and peace. The Stoics believed that everything happens according to the natural order of the universe, and that resisting this order only leads to frustration and suffering. By understanding that time moves forward according to the logos, and that we are part of this larger process, we can learn to accept the events of our lives, both good and bad. The Stoic view of time is deeply intertwined with their understanding of nature, virtue, and the human condition. Time is seen as a fundamental aspect of the universe, one that we must accept and align ourselves with in order to live a meaningful life. By focusing on the present moment, acknowledging the impermanence of all things, reflecting on our mortality, and making good use of the time we are given, the Stoics believed we could live with purpose, wisdom, and peace. Time, for the Stoics, is not something to be feared or controlled, but something to be embraced and respected as part of the natural order of existence. Through this understanding, we are encouraged to live fully, cultivate virtue, and find contentment in the fleeting moments. The Stoic understanding of time also touches on the profound relationship between freedom and the passage of time. For the Stoics, true freedom does not come from external conditions, such as wealth, power, or status, but from how we use our time and what we choose to focus on in the present moment. This internal freedom is rooted in the Stoic concept of autarkia, or self-sufficiency. The idea here is that no matter what happens externally, we retain the ability to govern our thoughts, reactions, and decisions. Time, in this context, is a tool that allows us to exercise this freedom by choosing how we will respond to the world. The Stoic philosophers believe that each moment offers us the opportunity to act in accordance with reason and virtue. Since we cannot change the past and the future is uncertain, the present moment becomes the only arena in which we can exercise our moral agency. Epictetus emphasized this notion, reminding his students that the only thing truly within their control is how they choose to act right now. By focusing on the present, we can free ourselves from the anxiety of what has already happened and the fear of what might come. This is the essence of Stoic freedom, the ability to live virtuously at any given moment, regardless of external circumstances. This freedom, however, comes with responsibility. The Stoics believe that we are all accountable for how we use our time. Since time is both finite and outside our control, it is our duty to use it wisely, dedicating it to the pursuit of virtue, wisdom, and self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently urged himself to avoid wasting time on trivial matters, reminding himself that life is short and that each moment should be used as an opportunity to live in accordance with his principles. He wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." By this, he meant that many people go through life without ever truly engaging with the present moment or focusing on what matters most, living virtuously and with purpose. Stoicism, therefore, encourages us to be mindful of how we spend our time. This mindfulness involves being present, fully aware of our actions, and making conscious decisions about how we engage with the world. The Stoics warned against letting time slip away unnoticed, lost to distractions, procrastination, or petty concerns. Seneca, in his essay on the shortness of life, criticized those who squander their time on meaningless activities, writing, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." He pointed out the contradiction in how people approach time. They fear death and the end of time, yet waste the time they have as if they had an infinite supply. To live in accordance with Stoic principles, then, is to prioritize what truly matters. This means dedicating time to reflection, self-improvement, and the pursuit of virtue, rather than being consumed by external distractions or the pursuit of material wealth. The Stoics believed that the wise use of time is one of the most important indicators of a life well lived. By focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, we can ensure that our time is spent meaningfully, rather than frittered away on things that do not contribute to our growth or well-being. Part of this mindful approach to time also involves recognizing the limits of human power. The Stoics were deeply aware of the fact that much of what happens in life is beyond our control. Time itself is a force that moves independently of human will, and no amount of effort or desire can stop its flow. This recognition leads to the Stoic practice of accepting. The Stoic understanding of time also brings with it an emphasis on the notion of eternity and our relationship to it. While Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment, it also urges us to contemplate our place within the vast scope of time, stretching far beyond our individual existence. In this way, Stoicism bridges two seemingly paradoxical ideas, the immediacy of the present and the infinity of time. The Stoics believed that by meditating on the infinite span of time, we could gain perspective on the triviality of our daily concerns and the relative insignificance of our individual lives. This cosmic perspective, also known as cosmic consciousness, helps diminish our attachment to ego, pride, and trivial pursuits. When we recognize that our lives are but brief moments in a much larger continuum, we can approach life's challenges with greater humility and acceptance. For example, Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself of the fleeting nature of human life in the context of eternity. In his Meditations, he wrote, "Time is like a river made up of the events which happen, and a violent stream, for as soon as a thing has been seen, it is carried away, and another comes in its place, and this will be carried away too." This reflection captures the Stoic view that time flows ceaselessly, and that everything, whether it be pleasure, pain, success, or failure, is temporary and will eventually pass. By keeping this awareness of impermanence in mind, the Stoics believed we could free ourselves from the emotional turbulence caused by both positive and negative experiences. Whether we are celebrating a victory or mourning a loss, Stoicism teaches us to remain grounded in the understanding that time will carry these moments away, just as it has carried away countless moments before. This perspective on time also encourages the Stoic practice of detachment. Detachment, in Stoic philosophy, is not about indifference or lack of concern, but about cultivating emotional resilience by recognizing the transient nature of all things. The Stoics understood that attachment to external things, whether people, possessions, or status, inevitably leads to suffering, as all things are subject to the passage of time and will eventually change or disappear. By practicing detachment, we learn to appreciate the things we have without becoming overly dependent on them for our happiness. Seneca, in his letters, often emphasized the importance of preparing oneself for loss by mentally rehearsing the impermanence of everything we hold dear. He encouraged his readers to reflect on the idea that nothing truly belongs to us, not our wealth, our health, or even our loved ones, but that everything is temporarily on loan from nature. This practice of detachment is closely related to the Stoic concept of fate. The Stoics believed that everything happens according to the rational order of the universe, and that time unfolds according to this divine plan. This acceptance of fate, or amor fati, the love of fate, is central to the Stoic approach to time. The Stoics believed that we should not lament the passage of time or wish for things to have been different. Instead, we should embrace everything that happens as necessary and part of the natural order. By loving our fate, we acknowledge that everything, both the joys and the hardships of life, has its place within the larger context of time and the universe. This acceptance of fate also leads to the Stoic practice of non-attachment to outcomes. Since we cannot control the future and are often powerless to change external events, the Stoics believe that it is futile to worry about what might happen. Instead, they urged individuals to focus on their own actions and intentions, doing their best in the present moment without becoming attached to specific results. This mindset fosters a sense of peace and equanimity, as it teaches us to let go of our need for control and to accept whatever the future may bring. Epictetus, in his discourses, famously advised, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well." In embracing this view of time, the Stoics also developed a profound sense of urgency when it came to living a virtuous life. While they believed in the infinite nature of time on a cosmic scale, they also recognized that our individual lifespans are finite and that we do not have an unlimited amount of time to live according to our principles. This sense of urgency is reflected in the Stoic exhortation to avoid procrastination and to begin living virtuously immediately. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that death could come at any moment and that we should not delay in pursuing a life of wisdom and virtue. In his Meditations, he wrote, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." For the Stoics, time is not something to be squandered, it is the most valuable resource we possess. Seneca, in his work on the shortness of life, lamented how people often waste their time on trivial pursuits, neglecting the things that truly matter. He wrote, "You are living as if you are destined to live forever, your own frailty never occurs to you. You don't notice how much time has already passed, but squander it as though you had a full and overflowing supply." This admonition captures the Stoic belief that time is precious and that we should use it wisely, dedicating ourselves to the pursuit of virtue, self-improvement, and meaningful relationships. Furthermore, the Stoics emphasized the importance of action in the present moment. While reflection and contemplation are important, Stoicism is ultimately a philosophy of action, of living out one's values in the here and now. The Stoics believe that we should not merely think about what is good or just, but that we should actively embody these principles in our daily lives. This focus on action is rooted in the Stoic understanding of time. Since the past is beyond our control and the future is uncertain, the present moment is the only time in which we can act. By seizing the present, we take advantage of the time we are given to live in accordance with our highest principles. In addition to encouraging action, the Stoic perspective on time also fosters a sense of patience and perseverance. The Stoics recognize that many of life's challenges cannot be overcome immediately and that meaningful change often takes time. Rather than becoming frustrated by the slow pace of progress, the Stoics taught the value of persistence and steady effort. Marcus Aurelius, for example, frequently reminded himself to be patient with the process of self-improvement, understanding that personal growth is gradual and requires consistent effort over time. This emphasis on perseverance is tied to the Stoic belief in the rational order of the universe. By trusting that everything unfolds according to nature's plan, we can remain patient and focused on our long-term goals, even in the face of setbacks or delays. The Stoic understanding of time is multifaceted, encompassing both the immediacy of the present moment and the vast expanse of eternity. By contemplating the nature of time, the Stoics encourage us to live with intention, focusing on the things we can control while accepting the things we cannot. Time, for the Stoics, is a reminder of the impermanence of all things and the fleeting nature of life, which in turn prompts us to live with urgency, purpose, and virtue. Through the practice of detachment from outcomes, the acceptance of fate, and the commitment to action in the present, the Stoics offer a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of time and finding peace within its unceasing flow. The Stoic view of time also extends into the realm of ethics, specifically concerning how we relate to others and our duties within society. The Stoics believed that time should not be spent in isolation or solely in pursuit of personal gain, but rather, it should be dedicated to the service of others and the common good. This belief stems from their understanding of human beings as social animals, creatures designed by nature to cooperate and contribute to the well-being of the community. The Stoics held that one of our primary responsibilities is to use our time wisely by fulfilling our roles within society and acting with justice, kindness, and compassion toward others. In this regard, Stoicism teaches that the time we spend helping others is never wasted. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of service to humanity, reminding himself that each individual is part of a larger whole. He wrote, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings no benefit to the bee." This metaphor encapsulates the Stoic belief that individual well-being is inseparable from the well-being of the broader community. By dedicating time to supporting others, whether through small acts of kindness or larger contributions to society, we align ourselves with the natural order and fulfill our purpose as rational, social beings. Moreover, the Stoic emphasis on time and service also relates to the idea of human mortality. By reflecting on the finite nature of our lives, the Stoics believed we could gain clarity on what truly matters, and this often leads to a shift in focus from self-centered concerns to the welfare of others. Seneca, in his letters, frequently emphasized the importance of using our time to make a positive impact on the world, rather than squandering it in idle pleasures or trivial pursuits. He argued that when we recognize the brevity of life, we are less likely to obsess over personal wealth, fame, or status, and more likely to focus on leaving behind a legacy of goodness, wisdom, and service. This Stoic perspective on time and ethics fosters a sense of urgency in cultivating and nurturing meaningful relationships. The Stoics were keenly aware that the time we have with our loved ones is limited, and they encouraged individuals to make the most of these precious moments. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself to appreciate the people in his life, knowing that they, too, are subject to the passage of time and could be taken away at any moment. This awareness of life's fragility encourages Stoic practitioners to be present in their relationships, to express gratitude and love openly, and to avoid allowing trivial conflicts or misunderstandings to consume their time. Furthermore, the Stoic understanding of time reinforces the idea of forgiveness and letting go of grievances. Since time is fleeting, the Stoics taught that it is unwise to waste it on anger, resentment, or grudges. Marcus Aurelius, in his writings, often reflected on the importance of forgiving others' faults, recognizing that everyone is bound by the same limitations and subject to the same mistakes. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." This acknowledgement of human frailty leads to a mindset of patience and forgiveness, as the Stoic recognizes that holding on to anger or bitterness only serves to waste the limited time we have. In addition to forgiveness, the Stoic view of time also encourages us to be mindful of how we spend our mental energy. The Stoics believe that our thoughts and emotions should be governed by reason, and that we should avoid allowing external events or other people's actions to disturb our inner peace. By practicing emotional detachment, or apatheia, the Stoics aim to cultivate a state of inner tranquility that is unaffected by the external world. This emotional discipline is closely tied to their understanding of time. Since we cannot control how others behave or what happens in the world around us, it is a waste of time and energy to dwell on these things or to become emotionally entangled in them. Instead, the Stoics taught that we should focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses to events. This practice of emotional detachment is not about ignoring or suppressing feelings, but about putting them in their proper place. The Stoics believe that emotions arise from our judgments about the world, and that by changing the way we think, we can change the way we feel. For example, if someone insults us, we might initially feel hurt or angry. But through Stoic reflection, we can remind ourselves that the insult is merely an opinion, and that it has no bearing on our true worth or character. By reframing the situation in this way, we can let go of the negative emotion and remain focused on what truly matters, rather than wasting time on unproductive feelings. This emotional discipline also extends to how we approach disappointment and loss. The Stoics recognize that life is full of setbacks, and that we are bound to experience loss, failure, and grief at various points in our lives. However, they believe that it is not the events themselves that cause us suffering, but our attachments to them. By practicing detachment from external outcomes and accepting that everything is subject to time's passage, the Stoics taught that we could face even the most difficult losses with grace and composure. Epictetus, in his discourses, advised his students to remind themselves that everything they love is temporary. Stoic philosophy offers a timeless framework for living a meaningful and fulfilling life, grounded in principles that promote virtue, resilience, and inner peace. At its core, Stoicism provides practical wisdom and guidance that can be applied to everyday challenges, empowering individuals to cultivate a sense of tranquility, moral integrity, and personal growth amidst life's complexities. By embracing Stoic principles in daily life, individuals can navigate adversity, cultivate resilience, and lead a life of virtue and authenticity. One fundamental aspect of Stoic philosophy for everyday life is the practice of focusing on what is within our control. The Stoics emphasize the importance of distinguishing between what is in our power and what is not, urging individuals to direct their energy and attention towards things they can influence, such as their thoughts, actions, and values. By focusing on what is within our control and accepting what is beyond our control, individuals can cultivate a sense of inner peace, agency, and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties and challenges. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages individuals to cultivate a mindset of acceptance and equanimity towards external events and circumstances. By embracing the impermanence of life and accepting both joy and adversity with grace, individuals can cultivate a sense of resilience, emotional balance, and inner strength that enables them to navigate life's ups and downs with composure and wisdom. This practice of acceptance fosters a sense of inner peace, contentment, and gratitude for the present moment, allowing individuals to approach life with a sense of openness, humility, and authenticity. Moreover, Stoic philosophy advocates for the cultivation of virtue as the highest good and ultimate goal of life. By embodying virtues such as wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice in their thoughts and actions, individuals can align themselves with their highest values and lead a life of moral integrity, authenticity, and purpose. This practice of virtue enables individuals to cultivate a sense of inner harmony, integrity, and excellence that transcends external circumstances, fostering a life of meaning, fulfillment, and contribution to the greater good. In essence, Stoic philosophy provides individuals with a practical and transformative framework for living a life of virtue, resilience, and inner peace in the midst of life's challenges and uncertainties. By embracing Stoic principles in everyday life, individuals can cultivate a sense of agency, acceptance, and virtue that empowers them to navigate life's complexities with wisdom, grace, and authenticity. Stay tuned for the continuation of this exploration into the application of Stoic philosophy in everyday life, for it is through embodying Stoic principles that individuals can cultivate a life of meaning, resilience, and flourishing. Stoic philosophy, when applied to everyday life, serves as a guiding compass that empowers individuals to navigate the complexities of existence with wisdom, virtue, and resilience. By focusing on what is within their control, individuals can cultivate a sense of agency, purpose, and inner peace amidst life's uncertainties. Embracing the impermanence of life and practicing acceptance of external events fosters a mindset of equanimity, gratitude, and emotional balance that enables individuals to approach challenges with grace and resilience. Furthermore, the cultivation of virtue as the highest good in Stoic philosophy encourages individuals to embody qualities such as wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice in their daily thoughts and actions. By aligning themselves with these virtues, individuals can lead a life of moral integrity, authenticity, and excellence that transcends external circumstances and fosters a deep sense of meaning, fulfillment, and contribution to the greater good. This practice of virtue enables individuals to cultivate a sense of inner harmony, purpose, and excellence that enriches their lives and relationships. Moreover, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of embracing challenges and adversities as opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. By viewing obstacles as stepping stones to personal development and resilience, individuals can cultivate a mindset of resilience, perseverance, and growth that empowers them to face challenges with courage, optimism, and a sense of purpose. This practice of embracing adversity as a pathway to personal growth enables individuals to cultivate a sense of resilience, adaptability, and inner strength that empowers them to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. In conclusion, Stoic philosophy offers a transformative framework for living a life of virtue, resilience, and inner peace in the midst of life's complexities and uncertainties. By embracing Stoic principles in everyday life, individuals can cultivate a sense of agency, acceptance, and virtue that empowers them to lead a life of meaning, authenticity, and excellence. Embrace the teachings of Stoicism as a source of wisdom, resilience, and inner peace in your daily life, for it is through embodying Stoic principles that individuals can cultivate a life of virtue, resilience, and flourishing.